Can I be heard?
Wow.
Whew. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. So I decided to make this quick little video on some things about practicing. I'm sure you've seen a million of them out there. What to do to practice to be the best guitar player in the world. Like, it's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to show you guys some stuff that helped me and still helping me along the way right now with my guitar journey, essentially. These are things that I found that really improved my playing quickly and really improved the way I approach music and the way I attempt to learn things. But majority of these for any instrument, this will work. I mean, this is really just a learning curve process that I found that helps what I'm trying to do. If you're looking for a quick, cheap tip to get, the best guitar player in the world, you're not going to find here. What you're going to find is that if you put the time and dedication into your craft, you will get good. If you have the drive and you have the determination to get good and to really practice and do it properly, then you can be a great guitar player. Anybody can be a really great guitar player, and everyone's got their own characteristics to add into these things, so that's another positive that you can go with. So I compiled about 5 tips for you guys that I found that really helped with my playing that can improve your playing and that can maybe get you out of the rut of playing maybe get you out of the rut that you're stuck in with your playing and you feel like you've maybe hit a plateau. This is a great way to, maybe look at it from a different perspective. So I'm going to share with you guys 5 tips I'm going to share with you guys on what I do in my practice routine to better it. So here we go. Tip number 1. You've heard it before. You're going to hear it again. Play with a metronome. Please, please, please play with a metronome. I can't stress that enough. Honestly, you never really know how bad your timing is until you either play with somebody or you record yourself. Now, I do a lot of covers and I like to record myself doing all these covers, and I found out the hard way that my timing was bad. Like, okay, exaggeration. My timing wasn't horrible, but I was definitely out of time when I thought I was in time. So I play with a metronome every single time I practice, no matter what. It sucks, but that is the best way to really develop your rhythm is to a click track, because it will never go out of time. And if you can play along with a click track, you can play along with anybody. And then you add your own little grooves in there and stuff like that too when you play with people. But playing with a metronome will dial in your rhythm to a T. There's no better way to do it other than practice your scales, practice your licks, practice your anything. Literally practice your rhythm playing, your chugs. If you play metal, practice your chugs in time and practice whatever rhythm you're trying to do in time. That will 100% benefit your playing overall. Whether you play lead or rhythm, doesn't matter. Play to a metronome. Do it. Tip number 2. Get in routine. Now, it sounds super simple, but it can be hard. I mean, if any of you guys have ever tried to go to the gym, this guy included, the gym was a hard thing for me to get into routine to do, because you have to take time out of your day and you really got to focus on what you want to do. So for guitar, it was actually a lot easier for me because I really, really want to get better at guitar. And still to this day, I really want to get better and better to improve much more and quickly would be ideal. But play in routine. Before you start playing, create a schedule for yourself. It's super simple. And I'm not saying 7 days a week. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone needs a break from something. So you don't have to practice 7 days a week. I personally practice about 5 times a week, 4 times a week, depending on how busy my schedule is. But I designate a time slot every single day. I pick about an hour and a half every single day, and I do my practice routine. I sit there, I play to my metronome, I run through scales, I play new things, I learn new arpeggio shapes, I learn new chord shapes, I learn new licks, and I practice them, and I practice them, and I practice them, and I dedicate myself in that time to really focus, and that's the only way you're going to improve. Honestly, I hate to say it, that's the only way that you are going to improve. If you continually practice and you set a routine, you will guaranteed get better. In those 4 or 5 days, I do my practice routine, and then once I'm done my practice routine, I feel better about wanting to play anything else. So I can play whatever else after, and I won't feel guilty that I didn't practice, if that makes sense. And the days that I don't practice, I still play guitar. I'm not saying don't play guitar in those days, because you should pick up your guitar every single day. But what I'm saying is that you should still pick up your guitar in those off days, but play what you want. That song that you want to work on that song the whole time. It's okay, because it's not a practice day. But make sure when you have that practice day, you sit down and you take the time and you really practice. Tip number 3? Tip number 3, learn by ear. Now, this one's a weird one, because with technology nowadays, it makes it so simple for you to just go on the internet and just... Not true. Search up tabs. That's not a bad way. It's a really great way to do it if you're in a pinch. Now, to really expand as a musician when playing with other people or even writing your own stuff, it'd be great to, when you hear something, have you guys ever had it when you hear something in your head and you're like, I want to play that, but you're like, I don't know what I'm doing when I look at, my guitar. I don't know where those notes are. The stupid dog keeps barking at me. So what tip are we on? We are on tip number 3. Learning by ear is a great way to really develop that skill. So that way when you hear things in your head, you can actually play them on the guitar. Now, I'm not going to go super in depth into this. If you guys do want, let's say, a little bit of a breakdown of how I approach things of learning by ear, leave in the comments. We can talk about it, and I'll make a video for that. But learning by ear is definitely a huge thing that you want to do to really expand yourself as a musician and develop your skill of what you're hearing. You can play that on the guitar, and then you're just a god. So, tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be give yourself goals. Now, it sounds really simple, but the way I approach is maybe a little bit different than other people. So the way I like to give myself goals is I give myself a weekly goal, and I give myself a monthly goal, and then a big yearly goal. So breaking down these goals into little subcategories makes them, in my opinion, a little bit more attainable. So weekly goals are, let's say if I'm playing an arpeggio, I'm learning an arpeggio, and I can play it at 120 BPM while I sweep pick it. My weekly goal would be to work on that arpeggio throughout the week, let's say to play it at 140 or 150 BPM. You're just setting small stepping stones for yourself to achieve the next step in, say, your speed or your writing skills or any technique that you're really working on. It helps you gradually make an increase. Now, these things don't seem like much, but when you say do that for a month, you may be able to play that arpeggio that was originally at 120 BPM, and you may even be able... You may now be able to play it at 160 sweep picking. So making those little goals for yourself is really a great way to stay motivated as well. When I do my monthly and yearly goals, I usually pick something quite bigger. So for my yearly goal, I usually pick out a let's say a very difficult song that I work on, periodically, and I'll pick it out, and I want to just learn it strictly by ear. I don't want to look at videos, I don't want to look at tabs, I don't want to look at anything. It seems daunting, but when you work on something a little bit every single day, you'd be surprised at how far you can really get to yourself. But when you constantly work at them and you constantly are being mindful that you're learning new things in the process, and don't beat yourself up about it, because you're learning. As you progress and as you get closer to these goals, you'll notice that your playing has gotten better just by trying to achieve a goal. And it's okay if you don't reach your goal, because you went from A to B to get there, and say you landed 75%, you still made a great increase from where you started. Putting goals down and attempting to achieve them is a great way to stay motivated, and a great way to motivate yourself to just always become better. Tip number 5 is going to be play slow when learning something new. I was so guilty of being the idiot that was like, I just wanted to play fast, and that was terrible. But I was just messing around. But I wanted to play fast, and I couldn't play fast. You're not skilled enough to play fast, and I would really rush through things and not properly learn a certain part. And I beat myself up about it a little bit. But when you're learning something, especially something very difficult, play it slow. Play it to where you can play it consistently and fluidly, very slow. And you think, oh, I'm going to play it slow. How am I ever going to play it fast if I'm always going to play it slow? You'll get there. The point is to build the muscle memory. The point is to build the foundation. You cannot run before you walk. It's inevitable. You can't do it, because if you don't learn how to walk, how on earth did you just randomly start running? You can't even walk. What I'll do is, I got this tip actually from Phil X from The Drills and from Bon Jovi's guitarist. What I tend to do is, say if I'm watching a movie, I'll be watching a movie or watching TV, I'll sit there with my guitar and I will go through that hard part that I was working on so slow, and I will do it over and over and over again. I'll just keep repeating it and repeating it. That way I drill it into my brain. It works. I'm telling you, it works. Like, all you got to do is sit there and constantly drill it into your head, and that's the best way to learn it. Key is to build the foundation, which is going to help you later in life, because what's going to happen when you're guitar playing, if you pick up bad habits now when you're playing fast that you don't even realize, those bad habits will still be there when you're 5-6 years into playing, unless you fix them. And one more, we're going to do a 5.1 bonus tip. That's going to be use technology to your advantage. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of great softwares out there that you can, say, slow down a track. You can cut pieces up if you want to learn just certain things. You can change the pitch. There's tons and tons of different software out there that you can use. Me personally, I like to use Reaper, which is a DAW that allows you, just like any DAW. It's like Pro Tools, Ableton. It's a great starter out DAW. It's $60. I'm not endorsed by them. But it's $60 for a lifetime membership, which is really, really awesome, or your lifetime license, or whatever you want to call it, of the DAW. And it's great because I use it all the time to slow down tracks that I say I'm working on, or a solo part. I can slow it down, let's say by 50%, where I can't really hear the notes, because say something is being played super fast and I can't hear the passage that's going on. I'll slow it down and I'll be able to pick apart every single note individually. Once I learn it, same thing, play it slow, build the foundation. Once I build the foundation, speed it up. Next thing you know, you're playing the part in a week or two. Use the technology for your advantage, and do yourself a favor and slow down songs that you're really trying to learn, and it'll help you progress, because you'll be able to hear everything much clearer. It's a bunch of cool built-in features too, like a tuner. If you don't have a tuner, you can plug your guitar into your computer if you have an audio interface. And it's great for recording. I record myself all the time. Even stuff that I don't post, I record it all the time. That way I can hear if I'm making progress, or I can hear parts that maybe you don't necessarily hear while you're playing because you're focused on playing. So I do that as well. Let me put this down. All right, guys. So that is it. That is my 5 tips to improve your practice routine. And it was almost to improve your guitar playing in general, but make it about your practice routine. Improve your practice routine. Use those tips that I gave you to your advantage. I mean, everyone's going to be a little bit different, but you don't have to use every single one. You don't even have to use any of them. You may just look at it and be like, this guy's an idiot, which may be true. But use these tips any which way you'd like. Keep practicing. Practice every single day. No, none of this is relevant unless you guys sit down and you practice every single day and you work on developing for yourself. Not for anybody else. You're developing for yourself. You want to improve as a musician as a whole, and you want to improve as a guitar player. And by doing that, you'll notice a huge increase in your guitar playing. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, click it down below. Follow me on Instagram, 6riffs. I post there all the time, post some cool stuff, covers and all that. And if you guys want to see anything, let me know. We do lots of covers on here. We do some tips, tricks, how-tos. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.